All right, Shalom. This is your brother Nahal from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yahshua Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath who are believing this word, and all truth and in sincerity. You know, I'm in transit right now, and I just want to kind of go into a lesson as I was meditating on the northern and the southern kingdom, you know, coming back together, you know, and in the midst of all of the controversy, whether it be geopolitics or within Israel, you know, within the circumcision, you know, I find comfort through the Spirit, you know, in knowing, you know, the Lord is going to bind us back together as a nation of people. You know, and this is inspired by a video I saw earlier this week, you know, and I'll get into it. But let me start off with a precept, Lord willing. This is Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 15. And it reads, "The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah, and for the children of Israel his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel his companions." And for those who don't know, the northern kingdom would be known as the Spanish-speaking tribes, or the Hispanics and the Native Americans, as they're called today. That is the northern kingdom. Those are the same people that walked across dry land with Moses. And the southern kingdom is the so-called Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, as they're described and called today. And if you look at it, you know, with a spiritual eye, you can see the split. All right, of course, there's many splits, you know. Within the Spanish-speaking tribes, there are divisions and splits and, you know, prejudice, if you will, against each other. But there's a huge split between the so-called black and brown, the Latinos and the so-called Negroes, West Indians and Haitians. You know, and as I was meditating on it, you know, we're the strongest nation of people on earth. And what you kind of see on the West Coast in particular, when you deal with Jake and gangland, is that as a nation of people, you can see how strong we are if we were combined. And I understand now through the Spirit why the Lord broke that brotherly covenant, you know, broke that bond between us. Because if we all looked at each other as a nation of people concerning so-called blacks and so-called Hispanics, you know, that kind of strength under one umbrella would be unstoppable. You know, and this is why through the Spirit, the Lord broke up the brotherly covenant, that bond, that brotherhood. You know, Esau was just an instrument to create that division, but ultimately the Lord did it. Because we came here to serve our punishment. You know, and I was just thinking about this. Matter of fact, let me grab this real quick. This is Zechariah 11 and 14. And it reads, "Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel." You know, because about 4 years ago, you had this situation over there on the West Coast where, you know, gang members from the so-called blacks or the Southern Kingdom, you know, had some kind of situation with the gangs in the Northern Kingdom. And for a brief moment, you know, they kind of patched it up. They solved it their own way and they patched it up. And as I was watching them kind of talk about how they resolved the matter, it made me understand why the Lord broke the covenant and the brotherhood. Because that kind of strength under one umbrella, you know, Babylon really couldn't handle that. And that's why the Lord broke it up. But the beauty of it, the comfort, if you will, is that the Lord's going to allow us in the kingdom to be one again. All right, we're not going to be separated as a nation of people anymore. You know, when you think about it, we're the strongest nation on the face of the earth. In the midst of all the things that have happened to us concerning our captivity, we've still been able to outshine the other nations, even in the lowest state, which shows you through the Spirit that as a nation of people, you know, we are the children of Israel. And the perfect punishment for the children of Israel is to serve your servants. All right. That is the perfect punishment for royalty. A nation the Lord made to be above, the perfect punishment is putting them on the bottom. You know, and as I was kind of meditating this week on how powerful as a nation we're going to be in the kingdom, with northern and southern kingdom being one again. It referred me back to Ezekiel 37 and how powerful the Lord's statement is. And you can imagine during the time of Ezekiel, not understanding the magnitude of what the Lord is saying when he's saying, look, I'm going to bring the brotherly covenant together again. Because, of course, you had the northern southern kingdom split, but they could never anticipate it getting this bad as we are right now to this day. We were split as a nation of people, northern and southern kingdom, but an ancient Israelite in the ancient world could never have imagined how bad it could get. And now we're living in literally the worst case scenario. And just imagining all of those splits and divides being mended. The Dominicans against the Haitians, the West Indians against the so-called Negroes, and, even within the Northern Kingdom, the split between the so-called Puerto Ricans and the so-called Mexicans and the Guatemalans and all of these different splits and divisions. Imagining those divisions being put back together through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai brings great comfort, especially in the midst of all of this controversy that we see, because it's going to get more controversial as we get closer to the end. All right, it's only going to get more controversial, but we know through the spirit because the Lord told us. So it doesn't come as a surprise to us through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, and I was just meditating on that because as a nation of people, man, we're literally unstoppable. You think about baseball. Baseball is primarily occupied by Northern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom are really the stars in baseball. You have Southern Kingdom and all kind of accolades in basketball and football. As a nation of people, we're special, man. But the Lord did a very necessary thing in breaking us apart. All right, this is Isaiah 11 and 13, and it reads, "The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim." And that's a nationwide thing the Lord is going to do. As a nation of people, the Lord says he's going to heal us, man. And as even though it's like a small thing as far as what we have in our immediate attention concerning the nation of Israel and prophecy, I was kind of meditating on that through the spirit on how beautiful it's going to be, all right, to see us as a nation of people put back together in unity. No backdoor, no snake shit, no slime shit, just solid in righteousness. Man, that's going to be beautiful through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. And this, that's why we look for a new heaven and a new earth, because we understand on this side, like it's always going to be something like this until the Lord heals it. The Lord said that. Matter of fact, let me get that. This is Jeremiah 30, and I'm going to jump down to verse 17. All right, and it reads, Salakia. Jeremiah 30 and 17 reads, "For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after." And it's a bitter thing when you think about it. Not only are we oppressed as a nation of people as a whole, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans as a whole, we're oppressed. But even within that oppression, Jake is basically oppressing each other. There's all of these prejudices amongst the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So it's almost like double straights. You can't trust the other nations because they're our natural enemy. And then you can't trust your own people because of all of these prejudices. All right. Matter of fact, this is Isaiah 3 and 5. And it reads, "And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable." And that's what you see. You see us as a nation of people in a lower state. And then within that, our people are hell-bent on trying to one-up each other. The Spanish-speaking tribes, don't marry a Negro. Don't marry a Moreno. And all of these different divisions and all of these different things, knowing that the Lord is going to heal it and solve it brings great comfort through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. And that's why in the midst of everything that's happening, in the midst of all of this controversy, this is the good news. The scriptures are the good news. This gospel is the good news. It literally means good news because ultimately we know this isn't the end all be all. It's not going to be like this forever. As a nation of people, we're not going to be divided forever. Scriptures say violence shall no more be heard within thy gates, roughly paraphrasing. Our nation being known for gang violence is going to be a thing of the past. Black and brown, so-called black and brown violence is going to be a thing of the past. All of these situations were brought upon us because we went off, but it's not our permanent estate. I always imagine looking at the world and trying to imagine how you would be able to process this without the comfort of the truth. And it makes sense why people go to the bottle or they go to drugs or they go to the video games, because the reality is grim without the comforter. It's almost unbearable without the comforter. You see how our nation is treated as a whole, and then within that, you have our people oppressing each other. And to know that the Lord's going to heal it and bring us back into unity again. And we're going to be known as a nation of people, not for what we do and how we entertain people, but we're going to be known for being the people of the Lord again. There's a comfort in that as well. As a nation of people, we're not supposed to be known for being good at playing basketball or baseball or soccer or being able to make food for somebody else. Or we're fun to be around because we have a lively spirit, but we're basically a jester in another man's kingdom as a nation of people. And we're on the bottom so much so that the only one up our people can do is against each other. I got more money than you. I got more, all of this competition amongst us as a nation of people. It's a comfort to know that the Lord's going to end it, man. That's why this truth through the spirit is priceless, because you have a comfort that the world cannot buy, they can't receive. And that comfort comes from Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. All right, real quick. This is Psalms 133:1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, man. And that's the rest. That's a part of the rest that we seek through the spirit. Being reunified as a nation of people. Of course, we know on this side, 2/3 of our people are going to have to be cut off, but they're going to come back in their right mind. And then we'll be able to dwell in unity as a nation of people. Not fighting to be the exception amongst your people, but knowing that the average of our people is excellent. Not just in spirit, but on the earth as a nation of people, being known and exalted under Yahweh Shai as the nation that the Lord has chosen and blessed. That's what we seek after. Lord willing, we be a part of that number, man. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. I just wanted to kind of put this meditation on wax through the spirit because, again, we're in beautiful times. It's a lot of controversy, but that comes with the territory. As a nation of people, our heritage is full of controversy. It's been like that before. It's no reason why it wouldn't be like this going into the end. The scriptures talk about the Lord coming back to bring division. Yet we know ultimately all of this division is temporary, that the Lord is eventually going to heal us of our wounds, man. And one of those wounds being healed is the brotherhood as a nation of people. And you get a glimpse of that amongst the body. But the Lord's going to do it for us as a nation of people. And there's beauty in that, man. There's comfort in that. You see our people in this lower state and know we get on Jake. We ultimately love our people. It's just on this side, they're not right. And they refuse to be healed. They refuse to walk through the door of mercy. And we know, according to prophecy, 2/3 won't. So it's business. But we know ultimately through the spirit that the Lord is going to heal us as a nation of people and bring us back together. As the Lord gave us that curse of a brother's eye being evil toward his neighbor, toward his brother, the Lord's going to heal us. And there's going to be unity, and we're going to dwell in unity, and violence is not going to be known in our gates as a nation of people. So-called black and brown violence, and so-called black on black violence, and brown on brown violence, and gangland violence, all that shit is going to be a thing of the past. Because it was brought upon us because we went off. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying with that. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.